Hey guys, today I wanted to show you some things I've picked up recently. As I have mentioned in at least one of the videos I've posted recently, I am considering going back to school right now, and it's going to be all online, so it's not like I necessarily need anything physical, but I'm a very like hands-on kinetic style learner, so I do need to like physically write my notes, and I need just things that I can interact with while I'm learning, and that's the way that I retain information the best. So I basically just wanted to test out a few different types of items to figure out what kind of journals I want to use, what kind of notebooks I want to keep my notes in, what pens I want to write with, if I need any kind of tab notes, decorative items. And I really haven't been to school in almost 10 years, and whenever I did go to school, I wasn't aware of all of this stuff. Now, some of these things may have been created since I've been to school or anything like that, but as a whole, these brands, a lot of these brands have been around. I live in a small town. All we really have is Walmart, and so, I had your standard like Sharpie highlighters like this that are super neon. And yeah, so the nicest pens I really had were like these, the Pilot Precise V5s, as well as like the Pilot G2s, which these are good pens, don't get me wrong. I just didn't know there was more at the time. And as far as notebooks go, I just had those cheap one subject notebooks, spiral notebooks that you can pick up at the store. I don't even think we bought the like 5-star brand or anything like that. I'll try to insert a picture here because I do not own any of those anymore. And I just did standard like loose leaf paper in a 3-ring notebook, which I do still have and prefer. These little 1/2-inch 3-ring notebooks. So I do still have a few of these, and I use them for a lot of different things. And like I said, I like this 1/2-inch size because I only would keep in it what I needed each week for whatever class and everything. So yeah, I have some things here from JetPens. I finally was able to place an order with them. Pretty excited about that. I also came upon the website called Stationery Pal. I'd seen quite a few people do hauls through Stationery Pal and stuff like that, so I was pretty excited to pick up some things from them, as well as I have some things from Office Depot and a couple of notebooks from Walmart still, and then I did pick up a pack of pens at Barnes & Noble as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clear all this out of the way. This is just kind of an overview of everything that I did get, and we're gonna start with the 2 things I have here from Walmart. Okay, so like I said, I did pick up a couple of items from Walmart. In the time that I've been out of school, they've really started to carry a lot more of a variety of items, and they're finally kind of catching up with the trends whenever it comes to stationery and styles and things. So that's been very nice. The first thing I picked up is this notebook from Mint Green. It is an 8x10 size notebook. It has 100 sheets in it, and I was really excited to see that it's dot grid. So let me zoom you in. Alright, so if you can see here, it's just looks like a standard size dot grid. So it is a 5mm dot grid, so it's the same as a Loop Germ notebook. If you have one of those, you might be aware. The paper feels pretty decent. I think this whole notebook was only like $3 or $4, so that's a really nice price for such a large notebook. It's got plenty of pages in it. My one beef with this might be that the pages aren't numbered, but I don't think the pages are numbered in any of the notebooks I've picked up for this, so that's just something I'm gonna have to do on my own. I do like to kind of keep my notes indexed even still, just to make any kind of reviewing or studying easier, as well as checking back on things in general. And in my experience, the only notebooks I've been able to find that are numbered for you are usually A5 or smaller style notebooks, and I needed something bigger to keep my notes in because, like I said, I'm trying to format in a certain way. So like whenever it comes to keeping my notes, I want to try to keep as much from a single section on one page just to make the reviewing process easier. Now, of course, depending on the material and how much is involved in a section, that's going to vary, but I don't know, I just thought this was a really nice notebook. I love watercolor flowers, so the cover immediately attracted me, and it feels very nice. It's very heavy. Like I said, the paper feels good, and I'm excited to use it, even if I don't end up using any of these notebooks I purchased for note taking as a whole. I always have a use for a notebook, so I'm always glad to have them around. And the other item I picked up from Walmart is actually a presentation folder almost. It's got, let's see here, 6 of these in it. They each have a little tab that you can insert a label into, and then both sides of each sheet have a pocket. And so I just thought something like this would be nice to organize papers as a whole, any kind of like maybe general school related items, so not per class or anything like that, or per subject, just anything overall that I might like to keep hold of. And I'm a sucker for marble, as you can probably see from my desk here, so I just thought this was nice. It was only a couple dollars. I don't know if this is something I'm going to be able to get a hold of more of, just because it did seem like it's one of those things they just kind of introduced for this new school year, and I'm not sure if it's going to be like a permanent kind of item, because it was in the like seasonal school section, so there's really no telling. Because if I were to get a hold of more of these, they also might come in handy to have one per class to keep important papers and printouts organized per class. So that would be it that I picked up from Walmart. Now up next is just a couple of items that I did grab at Office Depot. So the first one being this correction pen tape. And before this, all I had was like just that standard correction tape, and I struggled a lot just trying to lay it down. It was always so fussy. It didn't want to work right. But this is nice because it's retractable, like a regular retractable pen, and then you've got a nice grip on the top side, and you just run it down on the sheet. And so far, every time I've used it, it's worked perfectly. So it is the Office Depot brand. It was just like a couple bucks, and I think they sell multiple packs, but this was the only one they had left. You know, it is back to school time, so people are kind of buying up supplies quite a bit right now, but this is a permanent item. This is something they carry all the time, so I'll be able to pick up more at another time. And then I also picked up this notebook. It's one of the black and red notebooks. It's that's like the brand, I believe. And I'm not a huge fan of the aesthetic of the black and red. It's just a little dark and grungy for my personal taste. But the paper in these notebooks is incredible. It's super nice. They also have a app, as you can see here on this sheet, that allows you to, I believe, like scan your notes into Evernote and like keep track of them digitally as well. So that's kind of interesting. Something I'll definitely look at trying out. These are very wide ruled lines, so I don't know if I'll end up actually using this one, because the thing is, I can write like depending on what I'm writing on. So writing on something like this, I end up writing huge and I'll take up too much space, and like I won't fit hardly anything on the page, if that makes sense. So this notebook's probably going to be nice just to have. And if I'm being entirely honest, whenever I was looking at it, I saw this quote here, and it's a quote from Saint Francis of Assisi, and it just says, "Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible." And the reason I was drawn to that is because I am currently going through the process of becoming a Catholic, and I have chosen St. Francis of Assisi to be my patron saint. And the fact that one of the first quotes in this notebook was by him, I was like, okay, well, I need that. So I may not necessarily end up using it to take notes in, but I did want to just mention it because it's a very nice notebook. And if you do prefer a wider ruled page, it's very thick, nice paper. I'm sure it'll be very nice to write on. And it's a little bit pricier of a journal or notebook. I mean, I want to say like maybe $8-9, so definitely up there in price, but it's got like a hardcover, like you can see I can't even bend that. So it's a really nice notebook, and I do look forward to using it, just probably not for school or note taking. Okay, and then moving on to everything that I picked up from Stationery Pal. This is probably the one I got the most items from because it was the least expensive, honestly. So if you're not familiar with Stationery Pal, they do offer a lot of stationery goods, and the prices are amazing. It did come from overseas though, so the shipping did cost a little bit more than had I ordered it from somewhere here. But I think the price really offset, because a lot of these things, I feel like any other time I see them, they're at least maybe twice the price. So starting off with the washi tape items, I did get 4 rolls of washi. I've been really into this grid pattern lately, so I just picked up a few colors of that, the black, purple, and brown. And I also have never even seen just a solid black washi roll, so I grabbed that as well. And they are just your nice standard washi tape, not too sticky. And the other thing I picked up is this tool here for the washi tape. So you just clip it onto a roll. And let's see here, this is the Kokio Karu Cut washi tape cutter. So you just stick it onto the roll like that. It does have these little teeth in there. Let's see. It's got some little metal teeth in there like you'd see on a regular like tape dispenser. And then you just pull out however much tape you want, and then you'll hold it down in place, tear up, and then you get a nice straight tear, and it just kind of makes it easier to use your washi tape. And moving on to the other washi items, I did get, this one's covered with a rubber band because I've already opened it. But these are washi sticker dots. So again, you've just got that standard nice thin paper tape. There we are. And I got 3 different color variations. So this one is the flamingo, so it's just kind of got your pinkish reddish colors. This one is the blue, and so it's just got your different blues and some greenish blues. And then this one is called Dream, and so I just liked more than anything this dark purple and like this fog color, so I picked that one up as well. And these, if you can see how thick the roll is, there is quite a few stickers in these. And then I picked up some of these Memo Me. Page tabs. So I think I got every color variation that they offer. Honestly, like I said, they were only like 50 cents a piece. So I was like, why not? I really like the shape of them. I like that they're kind of rounded off. They're a nice matte paper, so they'll be easy to write on. And I think it'll just help me organizing my notes whenever I'm separating different sections of material and stuff like that. So I may color code the different courses. So like, you know, let's just go with your standard. Say this set's for math, this set's for science, this set's for English, kind of thing. And that way it just helps with the overall organization of my notes. And then just for fun too, I did pick up this sheet or pack of sticky notes. It's a rainbow moon, I think is what it was called. But it's just a really gorgeous watercolor style like planet, and I was just immediately drawn to the colors. They're very beautiful, and there's quite a few sticky notes on this. So I don't use a whole lot of sticky notes for a whole lot of things, but every time I see a really cute pack, I've gotta grab them. And this notebook here is a B5 size, so not quite as big as what I'm looking for, but this is all like Japanese brand stationery, I believe, so it's all going to be on those that measurement system that they use over there. So it is incredibly nice. The paper is very thick. If you can see the grid here, it's got a really nice 5mm graph grid on all of the pages, and I like that the top is kind of clear. Honestly, like I could put some kind of nice decorative drawing or lettering right here so you'd still be able to see through to it. The back is also clear, and the other nice thing about this is if I don't want this band on it, I can just take it off. So I thought that was kind of unique. Usually they're like glued into place, but whenever this came in the mail, I actually had to put the band on the notebook. So yeah, I'm excited to try this one out. I think the line spacing is really nice, and then having that graph on there, because if I do end up enrolling in the classes that I'm wanting to take, I'm looking into going into a dietetic route of nutrition. So there's a lot of science and stuff involved, and I just think that a graph grid might be helpful with that, because I'd probably be drawing lots of diagrams and things as well in my notes. And the last item from Stationery Pal is this pencil bag, and I'm very excited about this because I've been looking at a similar one. I think it was on Amazon, but it was like twice as much as this one is. I mean, probably similar quality, I would guess, but still, this is a really nice quality. It's very well constructed. Again, you've got that nice grid pattern that I've just been in love with lately. And I've been wanting a pencil bag of this style for a while because I really like that you have this front compartment that opens up. You've got your bands that you stick your pens in, a little netting to hold them in place, and then you've got this large compartment inside with 2 back pockets, but you can access the large side from the front pocket as well. So I just think that that's a really interesting design, and I've actually been using it for a couple weeks and I love it so far. You can fit so much stuff in here. Honestly, like, I've had everything in here that I want to kind of carry around with me, and I still have plenty of room to spare. So that's kind of nice whenever I'm looking for something. It makes it easier because there's plenty of space to move things around to find what I'm looking for. Okay, so here I have the pen pack that I picked up at Barnes & Noble, and I'd never heard of this brand before. It's called Uli, and these are 7mm fine tip colored gel pens. So I was just kind of looking around in their stationery stuff, and I thought these were just really interesting. I like the colors. They do have a square body, which is kind of unique. I don't have anything like that. Alright, so let's just get a notepad, and I'm just going to zoom you in so we can look at the different pens here. So they do have that nice like needle tip that very much reminds me of the Precise V5s by Pilot. And here's the purple. So you've got very thick lines. It is, like I said, a 7mm. I would actually prefer a 5, but 7's not so bad. And maybe in the note-taking process, whenever I'm trying to like annotate and draw attention to something, this would be nice to create like that bold lettering. So that's all the colors that come in this pack. Definitely nice pens, I guess, if you are very much interested in them. I wouldn't say don't buy them. Honestly, like, they do write nicely. The body, even with it being square, is actually pretty comfortable to hold, which I hold my pens a little bit differently than most people do. So I think normally it's supposed to be like this, but I use a lot more fingers in the process. So it is very comfortable to hold. They're a very light pen though. I do kind of like my pens on the heavier side, but overall they will do. They'll fit in a budget. Like I said, $8 for a pack of 6 pens. That's a pretty good price for a set of gel pens, especially you know, some of these more trendy ones that are coming out these days. So, and lastly, I have the items that I picked up at JetPens. So again, if you're not familiar with JetPens, it's just a website online that sells a lot of stationery. I believe it is mostly Japanese stationery brands, but you can get a good variety on there. So I've been wanting to try out one of these ring style notebooks because you can open them up, and so you can add more paper to them. So it gives you that nice ring notebook feel, but you still get that like 3-ring binder ability to kind of put pages in and take them away. This is the Maruman brand. It's called the Slim and Soft binder, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't care for its flexibility necessarily, but I don't think these come in any other way. Yes, so it's the Maruman Curl Fit binder. This is the B5. They do have quite a few color options, so it's something you can look into if you're interested. The Kokio brand also makes a similar product. I think they were all out of stock whenever I was making my purchase, so that was kind of what led me to purchase this one instead. But this whole thing is only $5.75, so that's not bad. It does come with some sheets of paper, but you can buy refill packs, and so like each brand makes its own kind of refill packs. And it does have this sheet in the back that kind of walks you through. Of course, I can't read some of what this says, but you can tell just by looking at the picture what it's offering you. So you've got some different pockets, you've got some page tabs that come in like different colors, and then you also have some different styles of paper. So all of this stuff is on JetPens website, so whenever you're looking at the notebook, you can see the accessories that go with it. But I'm very excited. I'm very hopeful that this will end up being the item that I use, because the other thing is that I can create my own paper to put into this, so I can make paper with as small of a writing grid as I would like and just do the hole punch. Now, I don't know if you can buy a hole punch that makes these holes in a paper, so that might be something I'd have to go through just with the hole punch and make them myself. That may end up being more tedious than I care for. So with that being said, the other item that I'm considering instead of these will be like the Office Depot's Tool brand, or I think it's Staples Arc notebook, which are disc bound systems, and they do sell hole punches that you can punch any kind of paper to add to that. So it's just kind of something to keep in mind, but I am very excited to use this. Yellow is one of my favorite colors, so. And the last notebook that I picked up is the Kokio Campus Design. So it's an A4, so it's just going to be slightly taller and a teensy bit skinnier, I believe, than a regular letter size piece of paper. Is the biggest difference between an A4 and letter. But what attracted me to this is that it is a 3mm graph grid. So if you can see how small these are. Alright, yeah, so if that doesn't tell you right there just how small the grid is. But again, I think I would be able to do very well to fit a good bit of notes on this. And again, it has that graph on there. Like I was saying, with the drawing diagrams in and stuff would be very nice. But I think I'm very excited for this one. I'm very excited to try and use it. Now, I don't know exactly how many sheets are in this, but it does look like quite a few. And, you know, given the grid, obviously, you're going to be able to fit quite a bit in there. So, the paper itself is very nice, very thick. The notebook overall is quite thin, if you can see it there. It is definitely a flexible notebook, but I think, I don't know, I think it'd be really nice. Writing this small might make my hand cramp though, so that's one of the things that I'm going to have to just kind of keep in mind that I may not end up caring for. It does have a box up at the top right of each page that says theme and date, so you could write your subject and what date you're taking these notes on. And this does come also in a couple different color variations, but I was just drawn to the black one. I thought it was nice. But yeah, it's a really nice notebook. I'm excited to try it out as well. And the other items that I picked up from JetPens are pens and refills. So getting into the pens, this is my first time trying the Zebra Sarasas. Honestly, I was definitely sleeping on these because I've heard so many people talk about how phenomenal these pens are, and I have really good pens, so I'm kind of like, you know, I don't need them. I already have really good pens. But while I was going through JetPens website, I saw the ones, this is the second set of the vintage colors, and I was just immediately drawn to them. So these are the 0.5 millimeter, and this is like a gold color. And first of all, they're very comfortable to hold. Somebody else's video I was watching that liked to use these pens was kind of pointing out that the grip actually comes further down, like closer to the tip, than most normal pens with the built-in grip do. So it's kind of nice because since I hold my pens the way I do, I also hold them very close to the bottom. So it's been kind of nice to have that grip down there. Writing with them is very comfortable. Again, here's another purple. It's a very dark purple. And this one is my absolute favorite one. Like, honestly, I hope they sell this pen individually or this color refills because I'm in love with it. I'm surprised I haven't drained it already, and I've only had them for like a couple weeks. But it's like a bluish gray. And let me see here. So if you can see that there, it's very much a gray with a tint of blue in it. And I'm just in love with that color. I've been using it for everything. And then there's this black, which it's not a pure black. It looks to me like it has a tint of something in it, but I can't quite figure out what it is. It's kind of like a reddish black, but yeah. I am very much in love with this set. I also picked up a set, and it's brighter colors, but it's the 0.3. So here we have the pink, and if you can see just how skinny that writes. If I am hoping to take my notes on smaller grid, I figured I might test out some 0.3 pens just to see. I just wrote pink right there. Obviously that was orange. But yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be able to write with these regularly, if I'm being entirely honest. For one, the only one that I can read super well, just immediately of the ones that I've written so far, is the pink. The rest of these colors are a little too light for being that thin. Now, they do have other color options that come in this point, so maybe if I just got like a standard black or something, it would be better. This blue one's not too bad either. This darker blue. But more than anything, since it is so thin, they just feel a little scratchy while I'm writing. And even like this, this notepad came from Office Depot. This legal pad came from Office Depot a while back, and it has very thick paper. It's not just like your standard 20-pound filler paper. So the fact that these still feel scratchy on such a thicker paper is kind of just tells me, you know, I might end up using them for like more art related things, like maybe in my bullet journal, stuff like that. But I don't know that I'll be able to use them to regularly take notes. And then the final items I got are these refills for the Pentel Energel. So now I have this Pentel Energel body that I grabbed, I think at Walmart. but I just like to buy the refills for it. So I like the 0.5 needle tip. That's probably my favorite one, and what I did have in it was a purple. But this is called Blue Black, and it is still that 0.5 needle tip. And so I just really like this color because it's still blue. You can still very much see that it's blue, but it's like a navy, you know, it's just a very dark blue. And I just like, it's a little different, you know, a little more unique than your standard blue or black pen, which again is why I like this grayish blue one so much. And I did pick up 2 refills of that one just since that is my absolute favorite ink. I also went ahead and grabbed a 0.3 of the Blue Black. And just immediately, so if you've never used a Pentel Energel, first of all, they're phenomenal. They're amazing. It's been one of my favorite pens for a while now. Immediately, the difference between this 0.3 and the Sarasa 0.3s is this one doesn't feel as scratchy. So it does write a little bit smoother. So I might actually be able to write with this one more regularly. Again, these ones will probably just end up being more of a decorative purpose. More of a decorative use. And the last one that I picked up, this one I grabbed because I think I was just like a couple dollars away from free shipping. And these are literally just a couple dollars. So it is a pink 0.5 needle tip. And the color might end up just being like neon bright, and I may not end up caring for it too much. Yeah, it looks really similar to that first set of pens I tried. So it's not bad. Again, maybe not my most favorite thing, but also it is bright enough that it might work well for like some kind of decorative purposes whenever I'm like, you know, drawing little doodles and stuff like that. I might enjoy something like this. But it does still write very smooth, just like the other 0.5s I'm familiar with. And just for reference, even though I've had this one for a while, I don't remember exactly where it came from. I think somebody gave this purple one to me. But this is the purple 0.5. And it's just that nice standard purple color. I do like writing with it. You know, nothing bad to say, I guess. Yeah, I think that's it mostly. One of these days, I might take the time to go through all of my stationery, all of my pens, maybe just do a sort of review on stuff that I already own, stuff that I already use, and just kind of let y'all know what I recommend as a whole. And as I go through using these items a little more often, hopefully I can, you know, recommend any of them. At least these 0.5 Sarasas, I already recommend. Like I said, I've been using them nonstop for a couple weeks. If you see in my notebook, if you watched my September plan with me, then you saw that I am already using them very regularly. So I'm kind of color coordinating. I'm doing the date in a color from the mild liners, and then I'm using the matching pen to I'll write in my schedule my to-dos, I'll do my journaling section and stuff like that. So Here's kind of a representation of that. I didn't journal these days. Honestly, I don't want to show my journal entries anyway, so but I just think it looks kind of cute to match the colors. I don't think I'm gonna have that. Yeah, that was the first day I started that. So here's this. I'm just gonna blur out the journaling sections, but there's the blue pen, there's the berry colored pen. This one I actually did with a black pen, so I don't know what I was doing that day. There's the purple pen. There's the gold one again. So yeah, I'm just kind of following that pattern all the way throughout right now. Yeah, that will be it for today. I really hope y'all have enjoyed watching me just kind of go through the items I've picked up lately. I actually did this in more of an unboxing style because I got the order in from JetPens, like I said, a couple weeks ago. And I filmed like opening the package up and all that stuff, but the entire video was way overexposed, so I couldn't use it. I had to I would have had to restart, but I also already got rid of all of the packaging materials, so I just decided not to even deal with it, because I had gotten in I got in the Stationery Pal stuff probably 4 or 5 days ago, so I had filmed that, and then I got them all on my computer and was going in to edit, and that's whenever I noticed that everything was overexposed on the JetPens part. So I just decided to scrap that whole thing and just kind of go over everything that I've picked up, plus the few other items that I had picked up within these last couple months as well. Because, like I said, I'm just trying to get a feel for what supplies I might like to have if I do end up enrolling. And I just keep saying if because we're still trying to figure out a couple of financial aspects on that. So if I do end up enrolling, it's going to be I won't start until January. So I still have time. As you may be familiar with from a few past videos already, but I am getting married in 2 months, and I didn't want to try to deal with already being back in school with that going on. I also didn't want to have to worry about like paying any of the tuition fees or something I might owe at the beginning, like whatever may not be covered, you know, from the FAFSA and stuff like that. So I just wanted to go ahead and wait until we were done with that. And since it is online school, the semesters, it actually runs 2 semesters online per semester in person, if that makes sense. And so how do I explain this? There's a semester that starts next month in October. So I could have done it that way and started, you know, hopefully by the end of this month we have almost everything finished with anyways. But then I have, you know, my bachelorette party where I'm going with all my friends somewhere to hang out for the weekend, and then we're of course taking a bit of a honeymoon where we're gonna go just ourselves together to somewhere for an entire week afterwards. So it just kind of didn't make sense to be trying to go to school or deal with any assignments or anything like that in the process. So that's the decision I made as far as that. So the deadline to finish the application process to start in January is December 1st. So I'm just kind of giving myself that amount of time, figuring out my transcripts from whenever I went to a couple of colleges right out of school and stuff like that, and see what the plan would be. And in the month of November, I will be making that decision and going back. So in the meantime, I'm just kind of softly preparing for it, if that makes sense. Yeah, let me know down below if you've ever used any of the products I mentioned today, how you feel about them, what are your pros and cons, and if y'all have enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up just to let me know. I'm just kind of making videos right now, so any kind of feedback is certainly helpful, so I know what to put more effort into. And if you'd like to keep seeing more videos from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. As it stands right now, I'm doing my best to put a video up on Fridays, but I'm still not too sure on that. It's worked out for the last month so far, but if you want any kind of notification, of course you can use the notification feature. But that's going to be it for me. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.